What's up guys, my name is Sean, welcome to my tech channel. Today I got an exciting video. We are doing an unboxing and review of this robot vacuum cleaner by a company called Zoozee. This is the Z50 model. Full disclosure, they did give this to me for free. I do get to keep it. However, they're not paying me to make this video, and they're not gonna get to see my opinion about this video before you guys do. If this is the first time you're stopping by and you like content like this, you might wanna hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification, and when you hit the bell icon, make sure hit the all notification, because that's the only way you'll be notified for all my videos. Now, I've already unboxed this. I have been testing this for about a week, so I can actually put my thoughts together and make this video for you guys today. Grab your favorite beverage, mine is coffee right now, and we're gonna get through it. Robot vacuum cleaner, super large battery life, ultra strong suction power, more efficient gyro navigation, and 2-in-1 vacuuming and mopping. This thing works with Alexa and Google Assistant. It has a 5200 milliamp battery. It has a 290 minutes of runtime. Now, I did get to use it for several hours, maybe about a good 4 hours as I was testing and trying to shoot some B-rolls. I think I barely got to like maybe 30% or so. This thing has a ton of different sensors, so it can detect the type of surfaces it's on. So if it goes from hardwood and it gets onto a thick rug or carpet, it can actually detect and would automatically increase the suction. It also has sensors for bumping into things. Some of them it will detect and it will stop before it gets to that. Some of them, as it will do a slight bump, the front of it has a small bumper, and that will detect that there's an obstacle in front of it. It also has fall detection, so there's sensors all over this thing, and that's one of the exciting parts. Now, we talked about that this thing vacuums and mops. It has a quiet mode, and honestly, that thing does get super quiet. I was testing this at nighttime downstairs in the living room when my son sleeps in the same floor that my studio is, and that thing was running for a solid 1 hour in the quiet mode, and I had no concern about my son waking up. So the quiet mode is really quiet, so that's another cool feature. And finally, it uses 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band to connect to your app for you to be able to use it. So first, when you open the box, at the top, you're presented with this green box, and that has all your quick start guide, your owner's manual, and the quick start guides are wonderful. So you definitely want to take a look at the two you have. One is for setting up the app, one is for setting up the vacuum cleaner itself. And then once you lift that, then you will see all the rest of the equipment and material. So first, you'll see this roll of magnet that actually works as an invisible barrier. We'll talk about that a little bit. Then you have control, remote control. And then here's the vacuum cleaner itself. It is round. I think it's about 13.5 inches in diameter. And like I said, it weighs about 13 or 14 pounds. So it has a bit of weight to it. Some of it obviously is because of the motors to provide the suction, and then also having that giant battery inside. And this is how the bottom looks like. And in a moment, we're gonna do a tour of the vacuum and talk about all the features and buttons. We have these brushes. It comes with 4. You only need 2 on the vacuum, so the other 2 are spare brushes. And then this is the base for the charging station. And on the side, this is the optional second tank. This is the one if you want to switch to a mopping mode from a vacuum mode. And we'll talk about that as well and tell you about my test and experience. Physically, when you look at this, I like the dark color. It looks very nice and chic, and it does not look like a cheap plasticky vacuum cleaner, so that I do like. However, because it is so shiny, this thing is a fingerprint magnet, and also when this thing rolls around your carpet, it builds up this charge, and as it goes around, it absorbs all the dust particles to kind of like the front sensor right here when this thing moves forward. So that's one thing about the material I don't like. I haven't used Roomba or some of those other big brands, so I don't know if this is a common problem, but at least I wanted to share what I experienced with this one. So this is the bumper I was telling you about. So if you can see this front semi-circle right here, it acts as a bumper. So as it moves around, if the sensors do not detect and it actually bumps into something, with very little pressure, it would stop itself and then trying to find its way around the obstacle. At the top you have two buttons. One is a picture of an arrow or a home. That is if you want to send it back to go to the charging station, and the other one is the power button. You have your dustbin in the back. It's very, very easy to remove that, and when you take it out, it gives you audible message as far as what you're doing and what's going on. Take a listen.
Dustbin removed. Dustbin in position.
Looking at the bottom, you have these two giant rollers that basically will guide this vacuum cleaner. I gotta tell you, my house, because of my son, it is super busy, toys everywhere. We got a bunch of different rugs, some spots are hardwood floor, and this thing did not get stuck over any obstacle at all. And you also have this fall sensor right up front, so this thing's constantly measuring, and the fall sensor works perfectly fine. I tested this several times against the staircase to see if it will stop, and it does stop with no problem. The setup process is really easy. Everything starts with finding the proper location for the charging station or the base, and you want to give it about 3 feet on each side, or about 1 meter, and in the front of it you want to give it at least 2 meters or about 6 feet. And then you will go ahead, download the app. They have the QR code, and you just simply go through the prompt. So I'm not gonna go through that. That's pretty straightforward. Also, the other thing is, be honest with you, the remote control that this thing has, I didn't think it's gonna be that useful, but actually is. Like, for example, if I just want to quickly go ahead, start this thing, let's say just lift it, just put it in the middle of a living room because let's say we were eating and there's some stuff on the ground. I just want to start it. I just lift this, put it in the middle of the living room, and just hit the auto button or the spot cleaning, and it would start like turning and go in a circle and just clean that area. Now let's talk about the cleaning power of this vacuum cleaner. So the box said this thing has ultra strong suction power. I gotta tell you, if I were to rank the vacuum power or the suction power of this robot vacuum, I would easily give it a 4.5 out of 5 star. Now the dustbin, it does not have any kind of sensor in it, so the app is not gonna tell you, or the robot is not gonna tell you when the dustbin is full, so you have to take a look at it yourself. A couple things. It's important to note that you have a replaceable filter inside the dustbin. That's number one, that would easily will come out. Number two, you can actually wash the dustbin. Cleaning rugs, it does fantastic. You have different suction levels, if I remember correctly, 3, but by default, I didn't have to turn it up all the way. When it would go from hardwood to rug, it will detect and it will turn on to the medium power, and it will do its thing. Hardwood floor, it did really fine. And then let's talk about edges. This thing did a really nice job cleaning edges and also navigating all the different edges. So for example, when I had this clean my living room, it did a really nice job trying to navigate and work its way around all the table legs and the chairs, and it has this movements that it keep going back and forth, trying to slowly find its way around. And as it's going, you have these brushes that on both sides, they're spinning both of them inward, so one is clockwise, one is counterclockwise, and then they're trying to push all the trash towards the middle, and then the actual suction is underneath in the middle, and that's where it will suck it up. These brushes, be honest with you, once you get into a carpet or a rug, they don't really do a whole much. The best use for those small brushes are when you're on a hardwood floor. So far it seems like I like everything about this, but trust me, there are things I did not like about this. So this is the other cartridge for mopping. So you have a dustbin and you have a water container, 2-in-1, and you have 2 replaceable and washable cloth that would stick at the bottom, and it will mop for you. I gotta tell you, I had this thing again mop the kitchen and my hallway, and it did a really good job, and I was very impressed. There's one thing I didn't like about this. So if it's mopping an area and it goes on a rug, it's not gonna turn around and come back. And I get that even if you don't spread more water, still that cloth is gonna be wet, but at a minimum, I would hope, and maybe with software update in the future they can do that, if it goes from hardwood onto a rug, it should, when it detects that, it should turn around and come back. My recommendation is, if you don't want your rug to get wet when you're vacuuming this, make sure to actually use the magnet or put obstacles so it will not get on your rug, or just remove it and let it mop the hardwood floor. Down to the final part and about some of its smart features, and this is where I have a little bit of a problem. So let's talk about the smart features that I like, and I get to the part I don't like. So we talked about obstacle avoidance, we talked about surface detection, how it can increase the suction power, we talked about the fall avoidance. So it has a lot of cool things. The part I don't like about this, which is a big part, is how this thing actually maps your house. So let me explain. First time when you use this, and it recommends you need to observe it, you need to watch it, see where it goes. One, you want to make sure, obviously, you pick up some of the loose items around the house so you won't confuse. So I would set it on auto, I would monitor it from the app, and I'm actually watching the vacuum cleaner. It would start and it will go around, my table, it would detect where the stair was, it would stop, it wouldn't go down. It will do a really nice job, and it starts mapping my my living room, my family room. It was doing just fine until it got to the part that it would have to go on a rug and come off a rug. Something about going on and off a rug, it started throwing off its position, and it got confused where it was in the house. It kept going in a straight line, but it kept thinking in the app it was showing it was going towards the right side of the house, and that throws it off. I tried it several different times. I wanted to give it a shot to see if it will work, and it didn't. And then I tried it in other rooms. Then I found out in some rooms it was working, some wouldn't. So what I found was, if you have a room that it has a combination of hardwood and rug or carpet, that would throw off the way maybe the traction it will work, or the pattern of the rug, which way the linens are pointing, or whatever the case might be. Maybe that throws it off. However, when I put it in my my own bedroom, my son's bedroom, that is all carpet, it did just fine. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, without that, is this thing useful? Absolutely yes, and let me explain. So for example, what I did, third floor, we have all carpet, and I will go ahead, just drop this thing with no programming, no app. I just put this in the middle of my son's bedroom. I hit the auto button, close the door, come out, and the entire room was vacuum spotless, because it could actually easily figure out which part it had vacuum and which part it had not. I did the same thing with the hallway. It did fantastic. And then I did the bathrooms. I put the mop feature on. I let it mop the bathrooms for me. And by the way, when you put it in the mop mode, it vacuums and it mops at the same time. And then I did the same thing with my bedroom. I put the vacuum piece back on and just let it vacuum. It's all carpet, and it did just fine. So I think this is all I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If you guys have any questions, definitely ask below. At the end of the day, the big question is this worth it? And should you buy it? Be honest with you, it depends. Right now, this sells for 250 bucks. I may be able to get some coupon codes. If I can, I will pin it down below, or just put it in the description. So definitely take a look at that. But for 250 bucks, you just really need to know what you're getting, and depending on which features are important to you. For example, for my portable Dyson, I paid 450 bucks. So this is almost half of that, and it's a little bit maintenance free, because I can, like I said, for a couple floors, for first floor and third floor that is all carpet, I could easily just drop it, let it just do its thing while I'm cleaning somewhere else in the house and putting stuff away. So but you have to be the judge of that. I just want to be transparent so you understand the pros and cons of this vacuum cleaner. Hopefully you guys found this useful or maybe entertaining. If you did, give this video a like. This is the best help you can give me. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.